Now you tell me.
That's when I want it touched the most. And welcome to the Glacially Musical Podcast. It is beer, metal, and swearing. Of course, I am your host, Nick Cameron, joined by my good friend, a man who's always oversharing, telling us a little bit too much. Keefy's over there. How we doing today, buddy?
Keefy Oversharing. What up, yo? Welcome back.
And like the barnacle that just can't be scraped off, not that we're trying, Big D Don De La Tardiness is joining us. Send me that record, Nick, and I'll send you that record. I don't have any stuff, and I can't.
Hey,
I don't know where the mailbox is.
is this thing on? Hey, testes. 1, 2, 3. Testes. Syphilis. 1, 2. Okay.
I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I have color in my face today. I don't know what happened here.
You actually look alive.
I know. I don't like it. For everybody listening,
I hate color.
for everybody listening right now, as you hear this as it's released, it's Game 6 for the St. Louis Blues, but tonight is actually Game 5. So Nick is all over the everything, and it's going to be all hockey, all the brain. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Thank you for joining us for the new series on Heart. We're going to talk about Heart, and not the kind you stab, but the kind you listen to. Excuse me. I'm running also on very little sleep. I saw Paul Simon last night, like a super, hey, here's 7th row tickets for free in a theater. So I'm not going to do a major review on that. I'll just say wife loved it. That's all that matters. So Heart, the departments of the episode: greeting, beer check, vinyl check, shirt check, news of the day, meat of the episode, which is the debut record by Heart recorded in one of them Canadas and the fabled Canadas. My beer of the week, the Glacially Musical beer of the week, is Schlafly Crisp IPA. It's a new one. It's an India Pale Ale, 7%. It's a hoppy up front, clean finish. So it's like a reverse mullet. It's a Tullum. And finger fudge pour down the middle, Paul.
Don's in the 2-hole today. Don, what you got?
Don's always in the 2-hole.
Hey-o.
Hey, oh, hey.
These jokes are just making themselves.
This is a family show, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, my family might be listening this week. And by might be, they're totally not.
Exactly. Yeah, no one. Actually, I've got the last Yuengling of the 6-pack.
You said last week was the last Yuengling, so are like your Yuenglings like Jurassic Parking?
Well, actually,
They're just nature's finding a way.
I thought I'd had the last Yuengling, but then this one was like kind of like tucked in the back of the mini fridge. I only drink when I'm on this podcast, dude. I partake in my green thing, my THC, my edibles. So this is like fine dining for me. So we have a Yuengling.
Yuengling is fine. Yuengling's also green. I don't know if you noticed. The bottle is green.
Oh, well, put this in your pipe and smoke it.
Nice work. I don't
You're not supposed to drink yet.
I stopped myself. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. I just saw you chug a lug. Anyway, I have spent far too much money trying to secure the last of these separate lime liquid deaths. So for the foreseeable future, I'll have these. Way too much of my funds. Liquid death, no can. Let's go. Drink.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
And I've also got to back up one of these because it's Blues playoffs, and I don't know if anybody remembers what it's like watching your team in the playoffs, but for me, it is just basically a 3-hour-long panic attack in the best way. So my vinyl check. This week I got me one of them twofers. As I have said many times over the course of this show, do not sleep on bargain bins because you might find something you don't have. Because especially like when you decide Robin Trower needs to be heard. This is for Earth Below.
That's a great record, by the way.
This is still in the original shrink. I did pull the record out. Slapped it into the... So I've got an outer, inner, outer condom. This thing is wrapped up 6 ways till Sunday. It is totally safe. We got Robin Trower. I don't want to know what's going on below the face photo. Looks like he's getting a little bit of Don action from Keefy.
Fuck. Shut up, Nick.
And then just a generic inner sleeve. Nothing to talk about there. This one was a paltry $4. It's in amazing shape and it sounds wonderful. It's one of those very cool, very vibey kind of univibe records that Robin Trower is so famous for. And number 2 is a bootleg that I acquired at the Vintage Vinyl for the paltry sum of $23. Pink Floyd, live in Paris Theater, 1970. This has... it's a radio broadcast, so if you're ever looking for bootlegs, and just for the record, things are so expensive and things are so awful and things are so terrible. Kids, it's okay to buy boots. It's okay to buy counterfeits, especially if they don't release them. Danzig, looking at you. So side A, The Embryo, Fat Old Son, Green is the Color, and If. I mean, if you wanted a single side of live Pink Floyd from 1970, is that not it?
That's pretty fucking impressive, actually.
Then side 2 is one single track. Anybody know what the one single track is?
Hold on. Adam Hart Mother.
Adam Hart Mother, front to back. So it's a great sounding record. Again, got it. Inner, outer, all the business. Totally worth it. You can still get this one on Discogs, kids. So if you want to jump, you got to jump quick.
That looks pretty amazing, actually.
Don, it's your turn. Nick should be handing it off to Don at every... I shouldn't have to jump in.
I'm sorry. I thought Don knew.
No, he doesn't know. Don is high and doesn't know anything. Come on.
I did know, but I was being... but the Southern in me was being polite and waiting to be invited. But
stop with your Southern hookworms.
I'm a fucking vampire, man. I have to be in... Anyway, I have no
let's
vinyl
stop.
today.
Where's your vinyl, Chet? Let's go.
I have no vinyl, but I was in Vegas last week, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But what I did get was I got some cool swag from trading with people. And this guy who was out at the shows made these cool little Grateful Dead playing cards, like individual cards, and was giving them out. And that's actually on nitrous balloons, which you gotta like that.
Yeah, what does Felix the Cat have to do with the Grateful Dead in any way, shape, or form?
What does anything have to do with the Grateful Dead?
So the guy who's the artist of this, his name is Felix, and he's
Felix Pot.
Felix making love. But anyway,
was that a Felix Potvin joke that Don would never get, Nick?
No, actually, I did. I was not trying to reference Felix the Cat Potvin, although it does sound like it did. Yeah, no, I was just saying. My name's Felix. Felix Pot.
Anyway, and then he also made these cool stickers that look like poker chips. And then this, by the way, was the best thing ever. Was if you guys have both been to Vegas, I'm sure you've seen like how they hand out.
I was looking at plane tickets today.
You know how they hand out those flyer cards for like the call girls and shit.
Unfortunately, yeah, I do. So
he made these to advertise the show.
Whoa, that's pretty nice. Okay, that's good.
Watch six.
Did you give me any cards? Did you get me any cards?
I regret to inform you that I did not get you any cards, but we are supposed to be heading back out there at some point. So
I got cards last night though at a local place. So
I saw you did. Where did you say they usually have them? Just in like little random gift shops or something?
In Vegas, you have to go. I forget the name of it, but you can Google it. There's a gift shop that just basically sells all the cards.
Oh, God. Yeah, we stayed off the strip actually because
it is off. It's off strip.
Oh, is it off strip?
It's closer to downtown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, next time we go, we're staying downtown.
Oh,
yeah. Nick has done Vegas wrong every single time, in my opinion. I'm gonna contact lawyer wife and give her some intel because she's clearly steering the ship wrong.
She and I had a discussion. Well, I have not steered the ship to begin with.
Yeah.
She and I discussed the Kiss mini golf, and she's like, "Wait, you want to do what and what? Kiss mini golf?" She's like, "That's not a thing."
Did you show her the pictures?
That's why I asked her. She's like, "No. That I feel like you're just messing with me, and you're gonna take me on a wild goose chase." And I'm like, "Why would I go on a wild goose chase in Vegas? It's hot." I mean, if I'm gonna go on a wild goose chase anywhere, it's Winnipeg.
So this is what my wife said too. She was like, kiss mini golf. I said, yeah, but it's indoor. She goes, indoor kiss mini golf.
Oh, why wouldn't it be? Of course it's gotta be indoor. How else would you see the smoke and the blood and the fire?
I told her that. And so she had to see it to believe it. She saw it, she believed it.
I got some Kiss news later, so let's it's small. I'm gonna be fast.
All right, let's move on over to Keefy.
Thank you. There you go. Now you're cooking with gas. Jesus. I got a twofer and they're interrelated. This was from this is still back with the 2024 checks. I am starting to acquire 2025 releases slowly. And but these are two from 2024 from the Fat Records pop-up here in San Francisco. Fat Records imminently to be sold, unknown buyer, but probably a big punk rock label. And so these are two. This is the infamous solo album by Fat Mike of NOFX, Cokie the Clown. Cokie the Clown. This is legendary.
I sent Lawyer Wife a text and I was trying to say getting your cokes. It came out Coles, comes, calls, and I just finished it off with cocaine.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That one was not an autocorrect, unfortunately. It would have been really funny.
May I continue uninterrupted? Christ. Anyway, front cover, Cokie the Clown. You know, Fat Mike has shot his mouth off many times. He's got many lovers and haters. The third most watched interview in Ghost Cult YouTube history. Back cover with the track listing. Bathtub, Fair Leather Friends, The Queen is Dead, Swing and a Miss, Down with the Ship, Negative Real, That Time I Killed My Mom, Fuck You All, Prearranged Marriage, and Punk Rock Saved My Life. Cokie the Clown is supposed to be the alter ego of Mike, that he's able to say all the things he doesn't already say, that he does already say for NOFX. I don't really understand. Did come with a download card, nice, as all the Fat Records have done. And then Cokie the Clown, there's kind of like I think there's like some lyrics here on one side. Look at the artwork, very sexy. And then the other side is actually the lyrics or the song credits, because it's kind of an all-star cast of punkers on here. I do have the little hype sticker, the typical Fat Records hype sticker, which you cannot quite see, digital download included, kind of on the plain vinyl, already in the mylar, played several times. I do love this thing. The haunting, I don't like scary clowns or sad clowns for some reason. And here's the haunting artwork. Both side one and side two track list on the front label, and this extremely disturbing Fat Mike as a clown on the back. And then interrelated, also picked up at the same time. That was like that's a rarity. They're not plentiful. So that one was 35 last summer. And then this is another somewhat rare, but this was in the like kind of like get it cheap bin. I'm not sure why, but West Coast versus Wessex, NOFX versus Frank Turner. You know that I love Frank Turner. I went to Salt Lake City to see Frank Turner play with Amigo the Devil and Bridge City Sinners, a fantastic show. Salt Lake City fucking rules. Cover kind of looks like a prize fight poster. The back. Two guys from NOFX, Frank Turner basically having a box against NOFX, kind of what the fuck am I doing? Why is this happening? And then the awesome, seems like this should be the record, the vinyl for the other record, but this is the red, white, and blue United States versus UK splatter. Bird shit splatter. I don't know what you call this.
I don't have a good name for that. Bird shit splatter is pretty appropriate though.
Vomit.
Yeah. I was gonna call it a color blast, but I like fair. Shit splatter better.
Make up shotgun blast.
How about splatter?
All right.
Oh, so there you go.
Splatter. There's my two vinyls. On to the news, Nick.
All right, I am not going to be taking any questions on this. I'm going to speak about these very briefly. Peter Criss's long-awaited hard rock album featuring John 5 has a pending release. It has been heard by human beings in the world, so this does exist. It's coming out this fall. In other Kiss news, Kiss has released a 45th anniversary of Unmasked, and you can only get the vinyl in bundles again, so even if I needed it, I would not be buying it because I don't want the ugly shirts, and I'm sure as hell not paying $200 for a picture disc of Unmasked. That's just dumb. There is also supposedly Dress to Kill and Alive box sets coming, so children, empty out your mortgage, because that's the only way you're going to be able to afford these things. Last box set news, as Keefy has predicted, over and over and over again, I'm glad it's finally out so I can stop hearing Keefy's proven correct theories. I am now waiting for Keefy's next correct theory. Metallica has announced Load. Super mega box set, of course, featuring Live, Laugh, Load merchandise, which is like my favorite thing. You can get a Pedro Serrano painting of Load on a throw pillow for your couch that says "Live, Laugh, Load." And you know what? They're taking the piss. And you know what? You can piss in my cup and I'll call it beer and drink it, Lars, because you have nailed it. Just going to point out, I am not buying this one as we went over Load before. I have a lot of nostalgia for Load. However, what always sways me on the Metallica box sets is the triple live LP they put in, or in case of the Black Album, the double LP. And I looked at the set list for the album, for the live set they put out, and it just does not have enough stuff I don't have already. I believe the only song it has that I don't have is Ain't My Bitch. And that song is not spectacular, so maybe I'll get it when it comes down way, way, way down in price.
Why is it $300 when their last bunch of box sets for their much better records were $240?
The Black Album was $240. There are also now tariffs and inflation, and the Black Album came out 3 years ago.
Metallica produces everything in America, except Czech Republic sometimes.
They still have to import shit.
Yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So things cost more than they used to, Professor Farnsworth. So yeah, that's my news this week. I yield my time to Don.
So just to kind of chime in on the Metallica thing, I was so excited about this stuff that I sent Nick a link that said, we have to get this for Keefy. It's a Metallica pillow that says "Live, Laugh, and Load." And I figured we would.
It is really funny.
I figured we could save him some t-shirts, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it though. But
what's great about that is it's also got flip it over for Cannibal Corpse. You got Load on one side and I Come Blood on the other.
Hey, look, it's something for every mood.
I'm just saying, I'm on fire tonight.
Nick, if you're coming blood, please proceed directly to your urgent care or emergency room immediately. Because
if I come blood, I am going to quickly proceed to a claw machine.
Well,
and win stuffies for sick children before I go there.
That's fair.
Well, remember, he could always call my wife, Dr. L, who is the
two time zones away. I don't know.
Yeah, and she's the so anyway, my news. Shut up, Nick. Anyway, Bruce Dickinson has already demoed 18 songs. The Bruce Dickinson, not more cowbell Bruce Dickinson, but Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden has demoed 18 fucking songs already for a new album that's going to come out sometime either early to mid next year.
Is it the Woman Lily?
Shut up, Nick. Anyway, that's super exciting because that means that Bruce Dickinson is going to be putting out more new material in the span of 3 years than he has in the past 35 years. So
it also means that there's no new Iron Maiden album coming.
Well, we kind of saw that coming, I think.
I did not want to see it coming. I chose to believe that it did not exist. I chose to believe that there was one coming. I know.
That's a whole nother podcast, though. But I got to stay true to my boy Nico. But anyway, that was super exciting news about Bruce. And then also heard that Stryper is making a Christmas album. And in other news, Slayer is going to write a song about evil shit. So anyway. Wait. Funny.
I'm sorry. Can we back up 1 second there? Did you say new Slayer music?
No, I was being sarcastic, Nick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
I didn't.
Now
I'm sorry. I'm really thinking about seeing Quiet Riot next weekend. I have free tickets, and I can bring my entire posse, which is the entire city, because it's at a free beer festival.
This is why we need to be living close to him, Keith.
Queensryche is also going to be there.
Of course, they're going to be there.
And Nick will not watch a second of Queensryche because he's a dumbass.
I have seen Queensryche 4 times.
With Todd?
Yeah, once.
I refuse to watch Queensryche ever again without Jeff Tate.
Well, you're never going to see that happen. So
go see. Are you waiting for
Scott Rockenfeld to come back onto the band? Because he's not.
Nah, him I could care less about. But Jeff Tate, man, I've seen Jeff Tate solo probably.
I don't even know who most of these people even are.
And he's fucking incredible.
Anyway, is it my turn?
Yes.
And one more thing, rest in peace, Roy Thomas Baker.
Yeah,
frequent guest of the show, Roy. Hey, everyone, pour one out for Roy.
For Roy, the Glacially musical podcast North Star.
Yes, he is.
And cocaine.
Not even death can hold me down, fellas. I'm here to stay.
Nick is about to.
I will never spew my beer. I will not spew it unless it goes down my esophagus.
It's going to go through your nose if I have anything to say about it. Okay.
Muting.
Well, time to talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, my favorite subject beside the Grammys, to talk about and not care about. No real surprises, I think. Soundgarden in, so I don't have to use my AK. God damn, it was a good day. Bad Company, not a Hall of Fame band, but okay, a lot of people love them. Chubby Checker, 2 songs and a dance craze. I don't see why that's in the Hall of Fame. Joe Cocker deserved. Cyndi Lauper deserved. Outkast, although I'm not a fan, deserved. White Stripes, I told you, Critics' Darlings, and somewhat deserved. Musical Influence Award, which is bullshit. Salt and Pepper and Warren Zevon both deserved. Musical Excellence Award, Tom Bell, who's a producer of the Philly Soul Sound, Nicky Hopkins, the infamous piano player, a lot of Clapton, Derek and the Dominoes, Rolling Stones, things like that. And Carol Kay, who, again, I don't care about these categories. And please stop having an award named for the former sex pest who used to run Atlantic Records. Lenny Warnaker wins that award as the former CEO of Warner Brothers through their most prodigious time in history. Any thoughts about Fish left out? Fuck them, but Don probably likes them.
This is the most, and I don't mean just who got in. I mean the entire thing, the candidates, the everything. This has been just the most meh apathy I've ever felt for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Lawyer wife told me yesterday, oh yeah, did you see? I forgot who she said. She got it wrong, which is adorable. I forget. It was somebody, some crappy band that we talk about, like Foreigner or somebody. She's like, did you see so-and-so? I'm like, really? They got in? No, wait, Bad Company. And my response to that was, Bad Company got in?
Over Oasis and the Black Crowes, and Fish.
I don't think Oasis and the Black Crowes even deserve it.
I think Oasis would, if this was the British Hall of Fame, they certainly would be in. Black Crowes, I feel like, are a critical.
It's Ohio, sir.
No, it has nothing to do with Ohio. Stop it.
That's where Billy
Idol, yeah, but it doesn't have anything to do with it being in Ohio. Billy Idol is not in, should not really be in. Mana maybe deserved to be in at some point.
Not familiar.
Mariah Carey is an official snub. Again, even if you don't like her,
she got the numbers.
She has the numbers. She's got the talent. She has hits. She is ubiquitous at Christmas time. Literally from before Thanksgiving to the end of January, I have to hear that fucking Christmas album. I
listen to the Puppet Master for Christmas.
I think
they start thawing her out on Halloween. So
we'll have time for your quips after I'm done. God. Joy Division and New Order, absolute snub, but you can make a case that even between the two of them, they're just maybe too under the zeitgeist to get in. And but yeah, I think Oasis was the one that I was like, oh, they're a fucking lock, and I kind of thought Mariah would be a lock, so I was wrong on those. And I didn't think Bad Company would get in, and I kind of didn't think Cyndi Lauper would get in, even though she deserves to, just for the 80s and early 90s. But
I don't even have a strong opinion on Cyndi Lauper getting in, and I love her.
That's weird.
I just don't. I think she has neither the guns nor the numbers. I know we went over this at length. I'm still just so very, very meh about this year's Hall of Fame.
If she's in, why is there's no way Bad Company sold as many records as Cyndi Lauper. There's no way.
There's no
way. I don't think they don't even have
had
as many
records
compared
to her. There's just no fucking way.
They've got nothing in the zeitgeist.
Probably sold more than.
So here's a question: if Paul Rodgers didn't end up doing that whole run with Queen, would Bad Company even have gotten nominated? I'm not sure.
No. Is Free in?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, if Free's not in,
I'll be a monkey's uncle.
If Free's not in and Bad Company is, fuck this noise. This is just I question.
And again, look, Fish is terrible, and anybody who likes them is a horrible person.
Wow.
It's like being a fan of Blues Traveler. Once again, horrible.
You mean Grateful Dead?
I'm right here, fucker. Right here.
I don't care.
Where?
Fish is a terrible band.
Here.
You should have no friends and never come again. That's your penance.
I don't, and I do.
Well, you have
a rebel
friends.
So anyway,
Fish is a horrendous band.
Actually, to be totally honest,
I can only name one album by them, and it's the same album. Everybody tells me
you can name an album, but you can name an album by Fish.
Who the fuck tells you to listen to Gamehenge?
Fish fans.
See, this is why I hate fish
The
fans. This is
same
why I
reason why
stopped
my
liking
brother told
fish.
me Dark Star is better than Stairway to Heaven. Not on
See,
your
that's
whole
not
life.
true. That is not
It's not
true.
even close.
Fish has more than one record.
They have like 80 records. You have no idea.
No,
So the
I
thing with-
don't.
They
So
have
my
more
thing with
records than
Fish-
Paradise Lost put out in the 90s.
They did.
That was a good one. I'll give myself a little.
You should.
There'll be time for your
brilliant.
quips at the end.
Yeah. Now you can quip and commentate. I think
Well,
Oasis should have been in.
I was just gonna say. I have to say, as far as Fish goes, man. Like, I mean, I loved him in the '90s. I was a fan. I traveled with them. Like, I did the whole thing. You know, I did not grow with them. I got out of them. They weren't like the Dead to me in a band that was of substance for me.
They strike me as an also ran.
But the thing with Fish was that they have the longevity. They don't have the guns, they don't have the numbers, but they do have they have the longevity, and they also have the kind of genre bending thing that happened.
Yeah, Bob Uecker had the
runners.
Bob Uecker for the St. Louis Cardinals had the longevity too, but he never played.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Is
Don is not going to get your sports references. Here we go. Metallica is to Warbringer as the Grateful Dead is to Fish. Now, I love Warbringer, but they're nowhere near Metallica or innovative in any way, shape, or form. And that's how I think Fish is.
I think
agreed,
that is actually
agreed. That's
very,
what I mean.
very
Also
fair.
ran. That's why I said also ran. They're. I can't hear you.
Yo,
Wait a minute. Which one of us is talking?
Keefy, you're muted.
Shut up, Nick. Talk, Don.
You were muted. Anyway, all I was saying was that I feel like that, you know, they may even have the influential aspect of it going because they do have this whole countercultural thing going. I just personally don't think that they are Rock Hall material. I mean, in the same way that I don't think that the Black Crowes are just yet.
Can we now talk for 1 second about the Fish fans in revolt on the internet? Like, why? Fuck Bad Company. Fuck Soundgarden. Why is Fish not in? Because they won the fan vote. The fan vote counts for 1% of the voting. 1 whole percent.
I can name 2 bands that won the fan vote that got in. Judas Priest and Black Sabbath. Wait, no, Kiss. I apologize. It was Kiss. Kiss won.
Was this the year Maiden was eligible and they didn't get voted in, or was that last year?
Maiden was eligible this year, but they didn't get through the fan vote only, and they didn't get through it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, they were in the initial cut, but not the final cut. No Pink Floyd pun intended for Nick.
I never make a pun about that record for me. It's not that great.
And I think Mariah is just being kept out because she's disliked. She's a diva and people don't like her personally. There's no reason she shouldn't be in this kind of thing. Madonna's in, Whitney's in.
If they're in, she should be in.
She should be in. Like, why is she not in? Like, Cindy is in.
Yeah.
Seems a little weird.
I don't know. I want to be Nick Cannon's mouth.
Oh, Jesus.
Because he has gone there.
That's wild. Oh, one last thing. I saw Sinners yesterday, and Nick 100% should see it. Your joke aside in the private chat. It works as a horror movie. It has incredible music, early 1920s and 30s blues. Buddy Guy is in the movie, as is Saul Williams' music and in the movie. You need to see this thing.
No way.
Buddy Guy is still alive.
And in the movie and playing guitar.
And what is he, 110 now?
I don't know what he is, but he's alive and he's doing the damn thing.
He's at least in his mid-80s at this point. Seriously.
I read his autobiography when I was in Disney World in 2015. And he was in his 80s then. Hang on.
I'll tell you now. Hold on.
I'm going to say he's 88.
He is 88 years old.
Whoa. Play the lottery, Keefy. Load, box set, and Buddy Guy being 88. I'm going to go.
Just for the record, he still tours and makes records.
Yep.
I mean, he is a national treasure. Let's get him a
had to stop touring at 95 because he had, slowing down.
Let's come on. Let somebody get him a hyperbaric chamber. Also, I learned last night that Paul Simon is married to Edie Brickell. Am I the only one that?
Yes.
Yeah.
You did not know that?
No, I didn't. Only American person that did not know that.
No,
that's why she stopped being a musician and a touring artist. Which also same with Iommi managing the singer of Drain STH, and she's never performed or toured or recorded again, which bums me out. They should try to come back without Maria.
She did play 3 songs with him last night.
She's like 25 years younger.
She's like 6 years older than Paul Simon's oldest son,
Awesome.
Yeah.
who was also on stage. Ew.
Well, real quick, how was Ryman Simon? Is it worth seeing?
The tickets were not terribly expensive. Our seats were $160 a piece, which for in a theater. We also had a two-nighter in St. Louis, which he's not doing two-nighters in most places. So we got lucky there. He sounds very old. He did not get the deal James Taylor got. We saw James Taylor last year. A couple of songs into the James Taylor set, he sounded just like he does on all of his records. Paul Simon did not. The first set was his brand new album with no breaks, no talking. Edie Brickell, a lot, kind of like this album, a lot of variations on a theme. Where his theme was the Lord. And the Lord is my engineer. The Lord is my soil. The Lord is the COVID virus. I mean,
Is it a Christian album?
It's called Seven Psalms.
Look how horrified Don's face is. Oh my
I
God.
believe Paul Simon is of the Jewish persuasion.
There's your thumbnail right there. Don's horrified face. Is this a Christian album?
I believe Paul Simon is Jewish. Do not quote me on that. And Psalms are technically from the Torah, not the Bible.
That's correct.
Anywho, he told good stories. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you the thing. So before he goes on stage, like 5 minutes before, they bring out a microphone to the very front of the stage with no monitor. And 2 minutes after they bring the microphone out, a man walks out with a tape measure. And he measures the microphone, looks down at this spot and goes, nailed it, walks off stage. Paul Simon then uses that microphone to give a pre-show speech and then walks away from it. And that's the only time he used it all night. But a dude had to measure it with a tape measure. I want to be that roadie.
Well, what was his speech?
Just nothing interesting. I mean,
that's your live stream. That job. That's your job. That's your dream.
That'd be an awesome job.
Yeah, I want to name the titles on Pornhub videos, not the videos, not edit them, not shoot them, not.
I just come up with the title.
I just want to title the videos. Just
you have to no. Good Lord.
For SEO.
I would get to be staying in first-rate hotels, touring the world, all for 8 seconds worth of quote-unquote work.
I can't imagine like 80-year-old Paul Simon and his wife Edie Brickell are on a tour bus. They absolutely are flying between shows.
83.
Absolutely.
83. Jesus.
She's 59 and gorgeous as hell still.
Yeah, for sure.
She still looks great.
She's a babe.
I don't know. I like Keefy's idea. We can start naming videos, like, I don't know, like 3 podcasters entertain thousands of women at once.
Oh God. We don't have a very strong female representation in our fan base.
We don't. Shirt check and then the meat, which I have a pre-meat question for you.
Ooh. A pleat question? Pink Floyd, my favorite Dark Side of the Moon shirt.
Interesting. Looks like a Death Star.
It does look like the Death Star.
May the 4th be with you this Sunday.
And it also looks like the wall. This is kind of a Dark Side of the Rainbow shirt.
It is. Strange.
Oh, it's got the yellow. It is a Dark Side of the. I've got a Dark Side of the Rainbow shirt. You guys suck.
Dark Side of the Yellow Brick Road shit. Fuck you.
It's a Death Star of the rainbow.
Good Lord! Imagine if the Wizard had a Death Star. Elphaba would never have gotten anywhere.
I'm so confused right now.
That's because you're high.
Always.
Use the Force, Luke.
The Schwartz.
Hang on. Speaking of Star Wars, did you hear what George Lucas released this week? He explained Yoda's talking.
No.
He explained why Yoda talks the way he does.
Because he's high.
No, it's a storytelling device. He wanted people to pay attention to what he said. So if you have the actor phrase it in a weird way, people have to pay closer attention. Absolute genius.
Oh.
You know what? Uncle George is a dumbass 8 times out of 10, but the 2 times he nails it, he nails it.
Don, shirt check. Man. Let's speed it up.
Children of the Sun, one of my favorite bands from Sweden. Great psychedelic rock.
Are those sperms?
Are these? I like to think they are sometimes, but
it's like sperms in an egg. I don't know. It just seems that way.
It's
sperms
like
running away from an egg.
It's like sperms running away from an
It's
egg.
done. Sperm's like, fuck this. I'm out.
Every egg is like deflecting my sperm. It's like, no, refuse to breed.
Deflect your shields up on high. And I, of course, am wearing my safety orange Suicidal Tendencies shirt.
I've been loving you with the bright colors, man. They suit you.
Thank
the
you.
yellow and then the orange. It does.
Yeah.
I can't pull those off.
And you missed the pink shirt last week. Pink. I did pink.
I think I'm just too white for colored shirts.
I'm far too white for anything. But Nick has the very infirm cat, I believe.
He is not infirmed. You can see his
turned to dust. He's hitchhiking away from that house.
Can you hear him?
Get me out of here.
Can you hear his purr?
No. Yeah, Nick can hear it loud and clear.
This is Louis. Louis is 16.
Oh my God, he looks 116.
In cat years, he's like 700.
Death's warmed over. No, he's cute. I petted him. He's ratty, but he's cute.
He's not ratty anymore.
I do like the gray cats. I think gray cats are.
He's not gray. He's blue.
Before Nick begins with the meat, let me ask you a question for musicology purposes. Is Dreamboat Annie by heart a 75 release or a 76 release?
75.
75.
Okay, good. Then we'll be doing the albums 1975 later in the pre-meat check. Go ahead, Nick. Set up the year 1975. If you have
1975. It is the greatest year in human history. Because in December of that year, I was born.
Why did I know that was coming? Seriously. Fuck.
December 23rd, 1975, the greatest year of all time. Happened in one day. My father drove to the hospital with my mother in labor and said, all right, I can deduct them on my taxes. My father was a dick. Anyway, so 1975, some interesting things happen. We are at the end. We are now into the Gerald Ford era, one of the very few American presidents who was not elected. Famously, that they made a joke about that on Futurama, which I loved. I never thought voters were very important to the process. He also, Gerald Ford was in The Simpsons as well. Not Gerald Ford proper, but you get the idea. We are now shuffling out of Watergate and moral perpetuity, moral character, moral infirmity is now a thing in politicians, which we have gotten away from. And
perpetuity, by the way, is not a word. I think you mean to say turpitude. Perpetuity is another word, but I think
shut up, Keefy.
Hey, I'm supposed to be the one. I'm supposed to be the one that makes up words around here.
Shut up, Don. You can have your quips at the end.
I am the cocksucking corrector. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, Crash Davis. So, where was I? We are now finally out of the Vietnam War, and George W. Bush finally shows up for his tour from 1972 as per Family Guy. In Family Guy, he shows up at 75. Anywho, so the Vietnam War finally ends officially. Everybody is out. We are done there. We are now headed into a really terrible time in American history. Hart is just a couple years away from the Vietnam War amnesty being declared, where the draft dodgers that ran to Canada could come back. As mentioned before, this was recorded in Canada by Americans, because they're in Canada. Let's see, 1975, we still have the St. Louis Spirits of the American Basketball Association. And the Cardinals, Blues, and Cardinals, because we had the football Cardinals then, are all crap. But this is one of the few times in St. Louis history when we had all four major sports, even though two of them were not major yet. So, 75, I don't know who wins the World Series. The Philadelphia Flyers, the Broad Street Bullies, win the Stanley Cup by beating up their opponents through bench-clearing brawls.
The Cincinnati Reds defeated the infamous mid-70s Red Sox in that World Series in the I believe
I thought that was 6.
The Johnny Bench game is 76, but yeah, that back-to-back Reds.
Was it back-to-back?
Red Machine. Big Red Machine.
I'm sorry, I haven't read Johnny Bench's autobiography in a long time, and Pete Rose's autobiography, which I read last year, is a little scatterbrained. It's kind of crazy. I do recommend it. Hard recommend. So yeah, the Big Red Machine featuring Joe Morgan, Johnny Bench, Pete Rose, Or Ken Griffey Sr. My God, that was a team, bro. Philadelphia Flyers, Bobby Clark, Dave the Hammer Schultz. That's a team. Pella Lindbergh. Anyway, that's 75.
You had me until you started talking about the fucking Flyers for no reason. I don't fucking understand you. Anyway.
I appreciate goon hockey. Simple. And gritty, who's transcended hockey. Gritty is America at this point.
Fair enough. 1975 is an epic year in rock album releases and proto heavy metal. Just a quick yay or nay if you have it or not, and then
let's just do have or not. Let's not editorialize this time.
Yeah, it's better. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here just celebrated 50 years.
Woody, hard yes.
Yeah, yes. Blood on the Tracks.
Multiple
Bob
copies
Dylan.
In this house.
Enough. No. I know you have multiple copies. Everyone knows. Shush.
I've got a Japanese pressing somewhere.
Stick up your asshole. Born to Run, Bruce Springsteen.
Yes.
Yes.
Physical Graffiti, Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
Yes.
Roy Thomas Baker's A Night at the Opera by Queen.
Yes.
Did somebody call my name again?
You have a weird light in the back of your room that's washing out Roy Thomas Baker, and stop shaking him.
Which is unfortunate.
Arguably the best record of this entire year beside Wish You Were Here or Physical Graffiti, Horses by Patti Smith.
No. Maybe. Is that guy running up the hill? Is that one?
That is the wrong person.
Then no.
The commercial breakthrough of the Eagles, One of These Nights.
No.
Young Americans.
Did you just ask me if I have an Eagles album? Really?
Young Americans, David Bowie.
No.
No, I don't have it.
Siren by Roxy Music. Great album.
No.
Featuring Brian Eno. Toys in the Attic, Aerosmith.
Hard yes.
Yes.
Tonight's the Night, Neil Young.
No.
Fuck
Neil Young.
This is a year of bangers. Welcome to My Nightmare, Alice Cooper.
Absolutely.
I feel like there was some Wings news today that I missed. Venus and Mars by Wings.
No.
I don't have that, no.
Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, Elton John. Sir Elton John.
No.
Yes.
The Basement Tapes by the band. Not a fan.
Nope.
Yes, I do.
The phenomenal Blow by Blow by Jeff Beck.
No.
Zuma by Neil Young. Why does he have more than one album in a year?
Go to hell, Neil Young.
Ouch.
They were supposed to be kind of like companion albums. I think he recorded.
It's technically Neil Young and
Crazy Horse, and then one was Neil Young.
Yeah,
they both suck.
Oh,
so anyway,
ouch.
I'm sure they do.
Katie Lied by Steely Dan.
No.
Mm-mm.
Face the Music by ELO.
No.
I will never call them Jeff Lynne's ELO. Go fuck yourself.
Seriously.
Fleetwood Mac by Fleetwood Mac.
Is that the one with the dude looking short in the tuxedo?
Yes.
Got it.
I know
what Fleetwood Mac albums we have by cover and rumors.
That's fine. The Who by Numbers. The Who.
No.
One Size Fits All, a record I listened to a lot as a child. Frank Zappa.
Nope. No Zappa.
No
Let's
Zappa.
Take It to the Stage. Funkadelic.
I wish.
No.
Probably one for Don. Come Taste the Band. Deep Purple.
Yes.
Fucking Coverdale.
Hell yeah.
Fucking Coverdale. The Heat Is
And
On
Hughes.
by the Isley Brothers. Sorry.
That's an Isley Brothers tune?
That's an Isley. Heat Is On, not Glenn Frey. The Isley Brothers, or Glenn Fry, when your name is spelled Frey. Anyway, Red Octopus, Jefferson Starship.
Yes.
No.
Possibly the worst Black Sabbath album, Sabotage.
Yes.
Sabotage.
Terrible album. No, I don't have
Produced by Cocaine. And
I got like a copy from some weird ass country in the Netherlands or some shit. I don't know. It was $10.
Weird
and Roll.
flex, man.
Rock and Roll by John Lennon.
No, gross.
The first punk album of this year, The Dictators Go Girl Crazy by The Dictators.
Love that title, but no.
Nick recently acquired Hair of the Dog by Nazareth.
No.
Don, this one's for you. Blues for Allah, Grateful Dead.
Yes.
No.
Fantastic.
Mouth farts.
One of the best progressive rock albums, to be honest.
Fucking not even possible.
No.
Why can't we be friends? Because Don likes the Grateful Dead by War.
I was going to say Smash Mouth. They're also at that festival too.
Oh Jesus! With the dead singer? No.
No, it's a new singer. There's
It's
like all
Smash Mouth and Paul Simon. And
Gin Blossoms are there with a new singer. I mean, all these people, new singers.
Well, Jim Blossoms. Oh, new singer for Jim Blossoms. That guy's still alive. Maybe I don't know.
no, it's the regular singer for Jim Blossoms. They're
Fool for the City by Foghat.
No. Does anybody have any Fuckhead albums at this point in time?
No.
I mean, then back in that point in time, not us.
I mean today. Didn't everybody get rid of those?
The Fantastic Fandango by ZZ Top.
No.
The Popo's coming for me.
The Pope? Conclave. Keefy's gonna be Pope.
The Pope.
I see the brown smoke.
It's the Pope. These are the brown smokes because I farted. Kiss Alive.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Rock of the Westies. What does this have to do with dogs, Elton John?
Hard enough.
Nah, I don't even know what that is.
The unfortunately titled Minstrel in the Gallery by Jethro Tull.
Absolutely.
No.
That's a great album, by the way.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is. It's
The
a
Hissing
fantastic
of
album.
Summer Lawns by Joni Mitchell.
No.
No.
I don't think. Maybe we do. I don't know.
Live by Bob Marley and the Wailers, possibly.
Yes.
I do not have that one.
Great record.
Former podcast subject Fightin' by Thin Lizzy. Phenomenal.
What?
Fightin' by Thin Lizzy.
Oh, no, I don't have that one.
Fightin'. Gotta say it just like that.
It's actually my favorite Thin Lizzy album, but I don't have it.
it's
So
one
My favorite is Black Rose.
You have fucked up. I also love Black Rose.
Gary Moore.
Nasty Gal, Betty Davis, great album.
Nope.
No.
Stampede by the Doobie Brothers.
No.
Cause I'm TNT. ACD.
Hell yeah.
I got my Aussie press of that one.
New Zealand.
New
Nice.
Zealand.
God,
I'm never good enough for Nick.
None of us are ever good enough for Nick because he's an elitist, contrarian fuck. Nighthawks at the Diner,
Wow.
Tom Waits.
No. Ouch.
No, I don't.
That
Sorry.
stings me in my arsehole.
Well, it should. It was meant
That was 3 things.
It was meant to.
I can deal with 2 things, but 3 things?
3 records
Back
to
to
go.
back.
3 records to go. Entranced by Scorpions.
No.
No, not yet.
I have never heard this record. Voyage of the Acolyte by Steve Hackett.
I don't even know who that is. Why are we talking about that?
You don't know
Steve
who
Hackett?
is?
Steve Hackett. He was the guitar player for
Yes.
Isn't
Yes.
yes.
No. Genesis.
Genesis.
God
Thank
damn
you.
it. And finally, last and never least, The Promised Land by Elvis Presley.
No.
I have
I
one.
didn't know
Elvis
anybody
album.
bought Elvis Presley records. I thought they bought Elvis Presley greatest hits.
Graceland, dude? Okay. Go ahead, Nick. Rest of the meat of the episode. Dreamboat Annie by Heart.
Dreamboat Annie. So Styx is formed, or Styx, good lord, look at me looking ahead. Wishful thinking. Heart is formed in 1973 in Seattle. As discussed, they headed up north because of the Vietnam War. Some of the members of the band were dodging the draft.
To Vancouver, British Columbia.
Vancouver, British Columbia, which is the nicest city in Canada if you like warm weather and summers that last longer than 5 minutes. And bad hockey. Looking at you, Vancouver Canucks. So they sign with a label called Mushroom Records. If that is not the greatest record label from the 70s you've ever heard, you're suspect. They go in and they record. There's not a whole lot of history leading up to this album, to be quite honest. Most of their interesting history is later. So we're talking about a band with it, but the most significant thing and the reason why we're doing this series is we're talking about a rock band, not a chick rock band, not, a sideshow, not an oddity. But we're talking about a legitimate rock band with influences in folk, rock, and heavy metal, where 90% of the music is written by the sisters Wilson. Nancy and Ann. Or is it Nancy? Or is it Ann and Nancy? Nan and Nancy. I'm kidding. I know. It's Ann and Nancy. Ann sings, Nancy plays guitar. And Nancy is an amazing, amazing guitarist who I don't really think ever got her flowers for what she's capable and what she's done. There is amazing guitar work all over this record. And Ann Wilson is probably one of the top 10 rock vocalists of all time. I don't know how anybody could possibly disagree with that. And both of these two women, 50 years on, are still powerful and still amazing. That is my setup.
Great setup, Nick. Seriously. You couldn't have said it better. I think that to this day, they still have the she has the pipes. Nancy's got the ability to still shred. Like, definitely an underrated guitar player, I think.
Completely underrated. No, she's never on a list that she absolutely deserves to be. And we are seeing Hart at the fabulous Fox Theater in St. Louis, Missouri. Not your randos in Atlanta. An evening of Hart, and I cannot wait for that. That is a show.
There's also a
really
Fox Theater in
forward to.
Oakland and Atlanta. Like, what are you talking about?
There's a Fox Theater everywhere. What
They're
they
not
are
related.
is no, they are.
Are they?
They are what they are. Hear me out. What they are is they are refurbished theaters from the 20s.
That's great.
Movie theaters. They were all called the Fox Theater back in those days. It was vertical integration. The Fox theaters only played Fox movies. The Paramount theaters only played Paramount movies. That's why there's Paramount theaters. That's why there's Fox theaters.
Okay,
exactly.
Holy shit.
I learned something today on the podcast.
I did too. God, this actually was worth my time. This is incredible.
Fuck you. And your beard. Both
Bitch.
your beards.
Fuck
I'm not
you,
jealous.
No, you're no beard. Fuck.
I'm not jealous because I can't grow one.
Keefy, if you and Don need a new manager, I'm Doc McGee.
Oh my God,
Don, come on with me.
Doc McGee is here.
I ran
Wearing
into
a
Don.
flannel.
I ran into Don at the Kiss mini golf, and he
What a
was quite a dude.
strange,
Yeah,
choice
so,
of
I managed Kiss and I managed Motley Crue. I never knew what Motley Crue was going to do to me.
and I did so much blow that I had to put on a festival in Russia to get out of going to jail. But I'm gonna go down here. I'll talk to you.
God, do you know how much blow that had to have been?
Seriously, like they must
They sent him to Soviet Russia.
with a bunch of coke snorting bands to play a
Right.
show that was against drugs.
In Soviet Moscow.
Mhm.
That's like if you come home, you're free. If you make it out, we're fine. We're fine.
Olaf Berserker.
That's where they went, and that's there's where Olaf decided he had to be heavy metal.
Yeah, he was
went to
there.
the Moscow Peace Festival.
Yeah.
Olaf, good, nice, huh?
Skrelnik.
Krelnik.
I don't know. This guy's a character. By the way, just a random thing. Were you watching Clerks this week in my spare time? Why does Dante have shoe polish and a sheet in his car? Is he a serial killer? What the fuck?
Oh, he's totally
No. The shoe polish was in the store.
Caitlin Bree. That's what he was
Oh,
doing.
The
man.
shoe polish was in the store.
Why is he have a sheet in
However,
his trunk?
the sheet in the
Fuck
trunk
in
is
back-
still
trying to fuck Veronica in the back seat.
no.
She's short enough to fit
That
back there.
that feels like a Shroud of serial killer thing.
Shroud of
Whenever-
Turin.
It really
In search of the Shroud of Turin in Dante's trunk.
in search of the Shroud of the Tri-State serial killer.
It's not even a full moon. I'm not supposed to be here today to kill anyone. Sorry.
Just for the record, a Roomba is just a battle bot with an ankle bracelet.
That's all.
dude, don't you go off on my battle bots, dude. I'm telling you.
Don loves BattleBots.
I love it.
And
Look, you guys
terrible
have your
music like
sports,
Fish.
damn it. I tried to have a sport, and you
All
guys
right,
just
okay,
hit on
Sheldon.
me.
All right, let's get to the
before we
record.
do the track by track, which Nick will lead, I do also want to weigh in on Heart. Like just
Go ahead.
in general, like everything you said about Heart, I agree with. I think Ann Wilson's phenomenal, especially when you consider the average rock and pop singer has like 4 notes that they do all the time, octave, a third, and a fifth, and they don't do anything else usually. And Anne, like when we talk about this record, what I want to focus on again, songwriting, Anne's choice of melodies, like even her lyrically good band, but like her melody choices are phenomenal, like really upper echelon. I know that they get ringed in like in 1975, 74, 73, whenever they got signed to Mushroom. A lot of bands sounded like Led Zeppelin. A lot of bands sounded like Deep Purple. A lot of bands were trying to be Black Sabbath or Cream, right?
They sounded influenced by those bands.
Influenced by them, but original. And I think
Correct,
that's Nancy's credit, which also Nancy Wilson, the co-writer of half of the Stillwater songs from Almost Famous.
Really?
That's very yeah. Her and
I didn't know
Beaver
that.
Dog.
Did not know that.
And the solos.
Is she the one that sang it? Like
No,
he
that's
sing it?
some Nashville hair metal guy.
No.
Yeah.
Here, let me finish. When they filmed the movie, all the vocals were female vocals. They hadn't finished the songs yet at the filming, so that's what Jason Lee. That's what Jason Lee actually mimed.
her. Yeah, that may have been her because I know it was her and Cameron Crowe.
I would much rather hear her than whatever the hell that dude was. The vocals in those songs were terrible.
I'm gonna be doing Fever Dog this week at karaoke.
You do that.
Anyway,
You go.
Nancy's incredible. Does deserve a lot of credit. She's a great. There's a lot of interesting, cool guitar stuff on here. I don't quite know all her influences besides blues rock because there's a lot of stuff in there that is not typical. And so, Crazy on You, like these songs that we're going to talk about have a lot of phenomenal
everything
character to them. And then the rest of the band is pretty competent. I think that's fair to say throughout their whole career. It's really all about them.
And other songs.
And I know that they use the cover artwork has them. They kind of look naked back to back. It's kind of
sisters. Ew.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that was a very gorgeous 70s thing, wasn't it?
It was a
like
very
exploitive
record.
I remember as a small child in my teens, after having found a bag of classic men's magazines in the crick in a brown paper bag.
Stop.
The pictorial of the Tweed sisters. All three of them.
I've been happily unmarried to Shannon Tweed for 35 years.
This is way before that. This is back when they were in their early 20s.
Who's married to the two twins also? Ken Wall from what was that 80s spy TV show?
Get Smart?
No, 80s.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
No, 80s. What's wrong?
Remington Steele.
Wait, that's not The Man from U.N.C.L.'s from the 80s.
Simon and Simon.
It isn't. No,
Simon and Simon.
Simon.
Airwolf.
Mr. Hot are in the back.
The Wizard.
Screw it.
Hardcastle and McCormick.
No, you guys.
Jake and the Fat Man.
Miami. Magnum PI.
Murder,
We're making him Short Circuit.
Short Circuit.
I kind of hate everything about this.
Johnny
Wise
Five
is
a wise guy.
Which also had a bunch of rock people in it.
I don't remember that. Wise guy?
Yeah. I was actually going to say the Fall Guy next.
He's married to the Barbie twins, technically. He's literally married to one and the other one lives with them and they all fuck. It's weird.
Oh, God.
That's a super
so
weird.
Nick,
can we move on to things that aren't terrible?
Let's do the...
I want to hear more about this living
situation
of
the debut art album.
Oh, God. Okay, hang on. We forgot. For those of us that are purists and better than Don.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Of course.
You know what? You started it, so deal.
Japanese pressing.
I only have 14. I thought I had like 50. Shut up, Louie. Can you hear him?
Can't hear him now. Not at all.
So here's the original heart record. It's got a heart on the back because as you do. It is a gatefold. As everything was gatefolds back in the day. It has a cardboard inner sleeve with Los Lyrics. And if you pay attention closely, my friends, you will see this is a mushroom pressing. Ooh. It's not a Canadian one. I got this at one of the antique malls by my office that I like to go to from time to time. Although I haven't bought anything there in quite a while. And I think I got it for like $10-15, very reasonable price. So it's
Mushroom had American distro through A&M, so that's why they have American presence.
I thought they had a full. Oh, I'm sorry. It was $15. Dreamboat Annie, $15. I thought that they had a complete subsidiary in America, not just distribution. But I could be mistaken. So. Side A starts off with Magic Man. And I don't know why, maybe it's in preparation for this series, but as I have been waking up to my alarm clock, I've been singing Magic Man in my head. This song is amazing. This is the Nuke Lelouch 98 mile per hour fastball down home plate. Heart announces themselves with authority. 10 of 10 song, no notes. Don.
Man, so I was just like kind of looking over my notes on this album, and I think it's one of those weird albums where it's like I feel like listening to it in full, I didn't love it right away, like as a full-on banger, because the split up of the kind of Dreamboat Annie suite kind of setup kind of broke it up for me a little bit.
It was weird.
It was a little weird. I would have liked to have heard that as just like, or even if they would have done it as like an opener and then like as like a closing reprise, I think would have been cool. But having it in 3 times kind of broke it up for me. But when I did go back and listen to it again, it hit differently, totally differently. But it also hit me how different of a band and sound this was, especially for 75. It was not a very feminine, friendly kind of thing that we were hearing, especially, we were coming out of and still kind of in that kind of folk era where it was coming out of the folky folk going more into the pop folk kind of stuff. And I felt like it wasn't even,
it was not cock rock of the 70s either.
No, it was not. But at the same time, it also wasn't them trying too hard to be, we can rock. I mean, like they just came out of the gates and they're adorable. They look so cute. They're beautiful. But goddamn, when you put a guitar and a microphone in front of them, they could tear it up. And I thought that this album was just chef's kiss.
Starts off that way, at least.
No, I think it continues on in its own dynamic though. But that goes
Keefy,
back to where I was talking about with the split up.
Keefy's up.
I don't know, man. I think most 70s records are front loaded. Because people, you had cassettes, 8 tracks, and vinyl, and most
everybody got high by side too.
Except for live albums, most records did not come on 2 vinyls in the 70s. So I just think like everybody front loaded the hits, front loaded the singles, front loaded the album. Now, Magic Man is arguably the best song on the record.
I don't think we're arguing that point.
So yeah, all the things of the entire Heart style until they changed stylistically in the 80s is on this very first song in this album. Right out of the gate. There's also pretty good production there by what's his face? Mike, is it Mike Flicker?
Mike Flicker,
the producer. I'm not quite familiar with it much else he's done, but
the Heart was really, really, really stuck on him, and that was part of the split from the label between the next record.
That's right. Okay.
Just in case anybody's wondering, I got a cat check. Who's this, Keefy?
I don't remember your cats from week to week, bro.
Nostradamus.
I'm high on edibles. Like I don't remember shit.
This is Goose.
Is that Goose? Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna start off with part 1 of the Dreamboat Annie suite. What's interesting is there are 3 of these, and each one is longer than the previous. The reprise is longer than the first 2 combined. That makes no sense to Nick.
It's not how a reprise works, by the way.
No, it's not. It's not.
So it's kind of out of order.
That really upset me, actually, to be honest. Like the ADHD of me was like, it's not supposed to be that way.
It should have been like long, short, not short, long.
Right.
Semaphore or Morse code.
It went
short,
small.
long.
It was small, medium, large.
And large.
It should have gone large, medium, small. That's just
kind of like this photo setup. Small, medium, large.
What am I?
Okay, Nick, I keep talking. Go ahead.
What am I, motherfucker?
Keep going.
I mean, Nick is large.
You are the large.
In what way?
You talking about peen size? What are we talking about?
Well, okay, I'll go with that.
Where are we?
Okay. Don is next.
Don's up.
My God, how did I get here?
I don't know. I think that's what they were thinking about when they hit record on this damn song.
Dude, okay, so actually, I think Magic Man is such a great song, though. I don't think it's a great opener. I think that Crazy on You would have been a better opener because it comes out more banging. But I also think that because of the rest of the album, they did a good favor to themselves by putting it third because it is pretty front heavy on this album. But I did not love the 1 and 10 seconds of Dreamboat Annie and then having to wait like another 10, 11 minutes.
Yeah. Did the Mushroom Records people think they were a progressive rock band? Like right off the bat?
So.
Like,
I think
that's what I didn't even think about that. I wonder if that's what they were shooting for.
They were shooting for Wish You Were Here.
Genesis.
And I wish they weren't.
I wish they were not. Oh my God. I mean, Dreamboat Annie just by itself is I like it. Like, right. Like it, I understand why it's the title. I understand why it works. Any of these things could have worked. Soul the Sea is also a very captivating title. Could have had like oceanic.
Yeah,
work,
agreed.
And the two of them as mermaids or sirens or something would have been fun and not sexist.
Are we sure?
Can we talk more about that?
No.
Don is like,
Don,
let me see both your hands.
Cold shower. Cold shower with Laverne. Cold shower with Laverne.
Don, do you need a tissue? I got a box for you right here.
Oh my God. I made love to a box.
Who needs a tissue when you got Mick Guitar Jones in the house?
Okay. Yeah, I did not need this song. It's basically 30 seconds of and then it goes into Dreamboat Annie, which I don't know what that is yet. Moving on into Crazy on You. You want to talk about one of the sisters singing her ass off and one of the sisters playing her ass off, and the whole band just as Jeff Beebe of the Jeff Beebe Band put it. Russell is all intellect, and I'm instinct. When we can both be on instinct, we make our best stuff. This is Heart on Instinct. All 17 or 58 of them, or 6 or 3, I don't know how many. However many people are in the band, that's how many are on Instinct on this track. Perfection, 10 out of 10.
And by the way, if you haven't already, I highly recommend. There's a great clip of Crazy on You live from 1978. And that intro, that is like poetry in motion. I mean, just not even her, just playing wise, it is absolutely stellar. And like, to me, that's a repeat banger for me. I go back and listen to that one a lot.
Yeah, top 10. Yeah, 10 of 10. Great song. I threw the tissues to the back there, just so I'm not tempted.
Did you wipe up?
No, it's just gonna splatter everywhere on the floor.
Whatever, man. I ain't judging.
Nutted on my feet. And
oh God.
You know, what is this Doobie Brothers what is that? Is it jazz guitar? Is it folk influence? Is it both? I mean,
fucking ripping is what it is.
It sounds like it's almost like a folk fusion kind of thing. I know that sounds weird to say, but it was like that kind of.
It's like taking Paul Simon and hitting some distortion.
Or giving him a mic that hasn't been measured yet.
Yeah, don't measure the mics for Paul Simon. See what happens. See if
live on the edge, Paul. Live on the edge.
All right. Moving on. This is the part of the album. Now we are done with the part of the album that is amazing. Moving on to Soul of the Sea. Okay, it's 7 fucking minutes, and I don't remember it. I listened to this record 3 damn times. So Dreamboat Annie is about being on the sea. Now we're on the sea, and I'm good. Done.
And this is kind of where it starts to get weird for me, where it's like I feel like it hits so good, and then I don't know. This is like that yacht rock kind of.
One of the two bangers should have opened side 2.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think Crazy on You probably would have been a better side 2 opener.
Very likely, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I have to echo what Nick said. Like, I didn't even remember listening to it. I had to go back and play it. Right now, I'm listening to it. I mean, good song, but
it's fine. It's the okayest song so far.
That's true. I think Soul of the Sea is decent. It would have been better at 4 minutes without the superfluous noodling.
Look, I love Heart, but I don't need any Heart song for 7 minutes.
Yeah, 6:33. It's not 7.
6.5. I round it up like in math class.
Don't round it up by 3 seconds. You're gonna round it up to a whole? I don't know, buddy.
Well, they didn't round my grades up, so don't get to round songs up.
We ready for Dreamboat Annie proper? All I remember is just Dreamboat Annie, Dreamboat Annie. That's all I remember. This side 1 ends with a whimper.
Also a solo. Also a single, the final single from the album.
Unnecessary.
That's very true. Yeah.
It was poorly chosen.
I honestly think that this could have been. I mean, if leave the reprise where it is, though. But if you would have combined those first 2, I could actually seen this being kind of a cool opener.
Yeah.
Kind of would have been like a dream
opening
sequence
do
starting
like
out.
Do like the Grand Illusion, bro.
Yes,
You start,
exactly.
you finish, and then you have all the dreams of Magic Men and Crazy on You and White Lightning and Wine in between.
And God damn it, you sing, child, sing.
And now we're waking up like 3 or 4 times in the middle of the fucking night.
That's
Flip the record, Nick. Let's go. Pick it up a little.
Alrighty, flipping the record. White Lightning and Wine. Okay, great, not spectacular. I'm good. Done.
I love this song because to me, this is like one of those like when I listen to it, it's like a cocaine song. Like it's totally cocaine fueled. Keith, you're nodding.
Yeah,
so tell me
I
what you
see.
mean.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
right. Like, yeah, they just kind of whipped this up in the studio. I doubt they had this in advance. And
with a $100 bill next to it, with it smelled like maple syrup.
They didn't have 100.
Yeah.
If they were out of America. They had
Canadian
notes.
hundos. Canadian hundos.
They didn't have 100 in Canadian if they were recording on the Lamb.
But you know what it is? It's a good song. It's a good song. I actually think compared to what the other ones are, I thought it was as good.
Yeah, it's better than Soul of the Sea.
It's better than everything on the first side that's neither Magic Man nor Crazy on You. I mean, that's a high bar. It's a high bar.
Yeah, they really put the bar out too far.
You know what else that it's better than? Love Me Like Music, I'll Be Your Song. You thought the first track on side 2 was written by Cocaine? This was written, produced, and funded by Cocaine. It should not be on the record. Done.
This would have, my little note there has, this would have been a great Elton John song.
This would have been a great song by anybody that didn't have a guitar.
That's what it is. It's not a rocking song. And I feel like that at this point, and maybe, I don't know, maybe you guys disagree, but I feel like
I completely agree.
They were still trying to figure themselves out though. But I feel like Heart at some point became a guitar-oriented band,
right?
Where the guitars really popped and they weren't acoustic.
This a hit fish.
Yeah, and I feel like this is one of those. I feel like this is one of those songs that they were.
Like, it's even 3 minutes. It's even 3:20.
I almost picture a label person going, "Oh, can you guys just kind of maybe give us a pretty song kind of thing?" And they
about 3 minutes. About 3 minutes long.
Yeah, and it probably took them 2 to write it.
It probably took them 4, but
but
it took 4 to write and record it.
But that being said, it's still better than a lot of the other songs from other bands at the time that were considered great songs, I would say.
Okay.
This is the soft underbelly of the album, the actual true soft nadir. And it's not great. It's not even good. It's just all right. And I don't need this, but like.
Speaking of songs we don't need, Sing Child. No, thank you. Don?
I love this fucking song, man. To me, this was like the closest that they hit Zeppelin on this album.
I agree.
Like this is a banger. It is groove. It's good. It's sassy. Like it's got some attitude to it. And to be honest, like if you were going to, if you want to talk about weighing an album out, I think you were right, Nick. If they would have put like Fucking Crazy on You as side 2 opener with Sing Child, probably would have come closer to balancing, I think.
Yeah, I want to say also that Sing Child, I think, is an autobiographical song about Anne. So I relate to it as a person that was a young singing person when I first heard this album.
Wait, you sang?
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, I think... Hush your mouth, cat person, cat lady. And
crazy cat dude. Thank you. I have socks that say it. Put some respect on my sock name.
Keep my cat's name out your mouth.
Oh, you can talk about my cats. They're lovely.
I know.
Chris Cat 5 strikes again.
This is a better song. This is a better song than the other 3 or 4 we just went through. So this is actually, I think, a pretty good song. And it's a complete band composition, which is the only one of the whole album, which is bizarre. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the rest are all, except for the next track, they're all Nancy and Nan. You know what? Nancy and Nan.
Nancy and Nan.
That's why you don't fuck around and make jokes about names at the start of the episode, because I knew you were going to fucking do that. God, I hate you. Sometimes. Not all the time, but some, like in moments like this, fuck.
Better him than me.
Maybe taking this a hair too seriously.
I don't know. It just upsets me.
I mispronounce shit on purpose. Have you not noticed?
Doesn't make it
Have you
less
not
annoying.
Hence
It's
my last name.
supposed to be annoying, Decky Doe. Anywho, I
Okay,
think
boom, boom.
I like that. Fucking love that. Can I be pod boom cast boom?
No, I would never remember that ever.
That's okay.
It's too many.
I think with Sing Child, perhaps I was PTSDing from the previous couple songs. Possibly. Anywho, how deep it go? No, thank you. Don?
I can't with the title. I'm sorry. It's just too much. No, it's not a good song. Sorry. No,
Fair.
Sorry.
Keefy?
So interestingly enough, again, this is maybe the failure of this record company to, missequence the record, perhaps. Maybe the sisters did it. I don't know. This was the first single, and they tried really hard to push this as the single. This is a lame song.
This song?
This was the first single on the record. It died.
Look at my
Magic Man as the B.
Look at my eyeballs. Oh my God.
He can't even believe it. So I think they were like, oh, if How Deep It Goes comes out and Magic Man is the backside, though Magic Man will then become a hit. Dumb.
Backside? Oh my God.
The B-side. Dumb. Fucking dumb. Sorry, that was not a pun. Backside and How
We're triple entendre here.
I'm not Don.
We're going
to Woodrow right now.
We're gonna sextuple entendre here real quick.
Wait, so if you flipped it, would it be How Deep It Goes on the backside?
That's correct.
Oh God.
But it's Magic Man. Then they put out another version of it that had Crazy on You as the B. So they don't know. This label does not know what the fuck they have. When clearly Magic Man and Crazy on You should have been the 1-2 hits, first two singles.
That should have been a thump and dump.
They're fucking dumb. So
this thing still goes platinum.
Yes, and the song is not good. So they have 3 not good songs on here and a couple of okay ones. Continue.
Dreamboat Annie reprise. Okay, I'm beaten into submission at this point, and I don't remember anything past Dreamboat Annie. I think this is a song about riverboat gambling or some shit, trying to buy playing cards at casinos that you go to as you're road tripping them out throughout the USA, or maybe that's just my life. I don't know.
No, it's about Anne.
It's not that exciting, Nick.
No, it's not. It's about Anne. The whole record is kind of about Anne and people pursuing Anne.
It was definitely autobiographical.
All right.
In a lot of ways.
I think it was her nickname from some lover. Actually called her Dreamboat Annie, and that's where they got it from.
That's pretty sweet, actually.
That is kind of cool. I like that.
I like that. Do we have anything else to say on this song?
No. No. Why is a reprise 3 minutes and almost 4 minutes long? They should have. Don had.
Can we round up on this one? Can we round this one up?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Because I forgive you.
Probably I would have done Dreamboat Annie, Fantasy Child, and Dreamboat Annie back to back, because then at least it's a whole song or a suite.
We have 7 minutes of Dreamboat Annie.
It's too much, but I get that's why they called it this.
I see
musically. You said one of you said it. I think it was Nick said it was thematic musically. You can tell it's meant to be. It's all in the key V, as everything was back then, except for Black Sabbath and a few other things, Zeppelin. So yeah, I don't know.
E flat. As a record, there are some amazing tracks on here. As an album, it kind of fails, honestly, because it's so front loaded. And I mean, I guess they're just assuming you're high by track 4. You got that sweet ass Maui Wowie that your Great Dane ate and a Labrador pooped out. And that's from Cheech and Chong up in
It's
smoke.
part Labrador, man.
I wonder what Great Dane.
Hey man, you have some of this space coke, man.
There's a new the final Cheech and Chong's last movie is in the
my
theaters.
God, I want to see that so bad.
We should do it. We should all meet up and go see it. Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
I'll light Nick up for that one.
Dude, a dude offered me pot at the bar last night, and I'm like, you know what? Even if I didn't hate the smell or the flavor, I'm not just going to take some rando puff
Never
at the
take
bar.
Somebody's rando weed.
No, man, I learned that the hard way.
I learned during COVID just how awful and disgusting and gross Americans are, by and large. So you know what? You go ahead. You enjoy your puff. You know, you enjoy your little Dutchie there. You keep it away from my face.
Your little Dutchie. Nobody calls it that anymore. Pass the Dutchie from the left-hand side. So the producer, I think, on this record failed.
Well, the
Oh,
label and the producer failed badly.
Yeah, because as an album, it's kind of shit. As a collection of songs, it's pretty good.
you mean production wise? You think it's shit?
No, production wise, when I see a producer, I see them as the director of the movie.
Okay.
Now, engineering wise, engineering production, how it sounds, how it's recorded. Oh my God, top notch. This
Okay,
is
I
Led
was gonna
Zeppelin.
say that's like two different things. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Led Zeppelin quality recording. I mean, Jimmy Page couldn't have done too much better with this than was done. And but as a movie, as a show, as a whole piece of music, the sequencing on this is just awful.
Hmm.
It doesn't make sense. Having Dreamboat Annie starting at track 5 and going through 7 makes more sense to me than having it roundabout all over the place. Or front loading and back loading it and have, 3 minutes and 4 minutes front and back like Grand Illusion. And then follow, do Dreamboat Annie 1 and 2, followed by Magic Man, have Crazy on You open up side 2, and then Dreamboat Annie reprise, which still is too long for a reprise, to close it out, and then you can work out the other stuff better. I think you get a better flow and you get a better experience. As it sits, we don't have an album as much as we have a collection of songs. We don't have a single cohesive piece, and that's where the producer failed. But as an album, as a collection, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because the two songs that are on there, the two really good songs, are really, really good, and both made it into the hard rock canon, which making it into the hard rock canon as a woman in 1975 is well past impressive. I mean, when Keefy went through the songs of the albums of 75, and 75 is a strong year.
Yeah.
So in order to get above the din from Canada, not only is this a group of women, which is at this time traditionally overlooked and disregarded, but this is import Canadian music, which is also overlooked and disregarded.
Mm-hmm.
So they had 2 strikes against them, and they hit a home run with 2 songs. 2 songs made it to those 2 songs alone they could retire on. Just the publishing alone.
2 of their best 3 songs.
Yeah,
Just
totally.
be real.
And with that, I'm done. Done.
I think that this is. I was gonna go 8 out of 10, but as Nick was talking, I think I'm more leaning towards the 7 because, and actually, because I might even kick it up to an 8 because I really do think that Magic Man, Crazy on You, and Sing Child alone are just like bangers, like, and that they're strong enough that, like Nick said, they're not even just good songs, like they're great rock songs, like they're rocking songs.
They're the 100 song American musical rock canon songs.
Yes, absolutely.
2 of the 3.
That would be a good chaser.
That
We'll
would
make
be
a
good
list
one.
and then we compare notes.
I thought we would just go with the Clear Channel 100 song list and piss on it.
We could always do that. We do that anyway. So, but
Yeah, basically that's a whole show.
I think that this album, though, one of the things I feel like it did suffer from, and again, this is coming from a folky guy, who I grew up listening to folk music also, is that I feel like they were still trying to kind of push folk music in at that point, and they were trying to edge it into.
It feels more like they were washing it out in the right way.
Well, but
like,
but even if you listen to the other folk,
if you listen to Kiss records around this time,
they all start kind of getting watered down like that.
If you listen to Kiss records from this time, there's folk influence.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing, is that they'd taken this music that was very prominently, it started off very underground and very kind of countercultural. Then all of a sudden it became popular. And then as the tide started to change, like everything else, executives were like, how can we take this music and kind of edge it in? And I feel like with Heart, I feel like they had the ability, they had the songs, and they kind of looked at them and they were like, oh, you've got some of these folky elements here, but let's face it though. There's a reason why a majority of these songs are not part of their repertoire.
Yeah. When I see Heart in 2 months, I'm going to get 2 of these songs, and you know what 2 they are.
Well, yeah, I mean, they did the whole Dreamboat Annie anniversary tour like years
And
ago.
I'm seeing a 3-hour Heart show. I'm gonna get these two. I'm gonna get 2 songs only. But if you look at 1974 and 75, 1975 is when the 70s really started as the 70s. You look at the first 3 Led Zeppelin records. They're not Led Zeppelin as we know them. They're folky and they're very bluesy. When they get to 4, they become Led Zeppelin as we think of Led Zeppelin. Kiss is still doing in the early 70s. Kiss is doing Wicked Lester. Peter Criss is doing Chelsea. It's still very folky, still very hippy dippy, still very post Woodstock.
Was Ace still in Malamo at that point?
Molimo, and yes,
Molimo, the psych rock bit, which is fucking great, by the way.
I guess if you like Ace Frehley's solos from the first 3 Kiss records, you'll love Molimo because it's on that record too. Because when he got to Kiss, he's like, I only know 3 solos.
If you like Ace Frehley's solos from Kiss Alive, you will love Pearl Jam 10. Anyway,
you will also love Skid Row.
That's true.
And if you love Robbie Krieger's solo from 5 to 1, you will love Ace Frehley's solo from She. And if you love Ace Frehley's solo from She, you will love Snake Sabo's solo from Something. And if you love that, you're going to love the Mike McCready solo from Pearl Jam.
Yes, if you like that, you're going to love Mick
Roy Thomas Baker
Jones. But kind of go back to what you're saying. It's all recyclable.
I think it's safe to say right now we're tumbling. Keefy, do you have anything else that you need to get off your chest about this record and this era?
8 of 10 because those 2 songs are 10s, and that's the only reason this is an 8 of 10. And I think it's my turn to take us home.
Take us home, baby.
Because I don't trust Don, and you did it last week. You have been listening to the Glacially Musical Podcast. Welcome back again, co-host Don, officially co-host Don. We missed you.
Substitute.
No. Substitute is when we're not here. Co-host Don.
Oh, it's a Janet.
How sad would that be if I showed up and I'm like, they're not here. I'm just gonna do the podcast.
Hey dudes, let's all wear our scary makeup tomorrow. And this is the only dumbass that did it. King Diamond. Anyway. Grandma, what was it like?
Hearing voices.
Your host, Nick Cameron, is not going to stop talking over the outro or ever stop talking over Don. So we're just going to accept that Don's here on his own volition and Nick doesn't respect him ever. When you do this podcast, you know where to find us on the socials. Everything's linked. Please follow Don on YouTube at Talking the Talk with Don and his blog, Southeast of Heaven, and go buy his book, Southeast of Heaven, because I quite enjoyed it. And with that out of the way, it's the Glacially Musical Podcast that doesn't play in Peoria, and Heart probably never will again.
Have they ever?
They probably did.
They probably burned that shit down.
Things that make you go,
Things that make you go,
Huh?
Do.
Don keeps coming back. He loves it.
He does. He likes the abuse. So do you. Bye.